Hello?
Hi, Franca.
Hi, sorry about that. I might have been in the wrong space. Am I okay to share my screen?
Yes, you are. You're okay to proceed. I'm going to jump off, but it's all yours.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Franca Pomponio. I'm with FedDev Ontario, Small Business Services. Thank you so much for taking the time today, especially on a Saturday, to hear what we have to say. So FedDev Ontario is the federal economic development agency for Southern Ontario. Our mandate is to strengthen Southern Ontario's capacity for innovation, economic development, and growth. And we want to have a dynamic, inclusive, and globally competitive Southern Ontario economy driven by innovation, entrepreneurship, and collaboration. So we have the different roles of the agency, and I'm going to go through them very quickly. Through the funding programs for FedDev Ontario because they are very specific to innovation. So I don't know how many people might be fitting into that today. This is a general corporate presentation that we give. I think what everybody here might be more interested in and maybe more be able to get more from is at the end I'll talk about small business services particularly. But in FedDev Ontario, the bigger agency, we're a convener, a co-investor, pathfinder, and champion, like I said, in the innovation space. So we work to advance the region's economy by encouraging collaborative ventures, promoting regional benefits, and leveraging Southern Ontario's innovation ecosystem and assets. So we do that by creating linkages, but also supporting businesses in Southern Ontario that are creating innovative technologies, improving their productivity, growing their revenues, advancing communities across the region. So what we do is we invest. We have financing programs that I'll talk about soon. We develop partnerships with organizations, and we leverage additional investments of more than $3.2 billion, for example, to support businesses, organizations, and community across Southern Ontario. So we work very closely with partners, stakeholders, investors, and communities to improve the local economic conditions to create new opportunities for innovation. So very quickly, I'll go over the three funding streams. Like I said, I don't know if a lot of people here today are in that particular innovation space that we call. That's, AI, health sciences. It's a very specific growth business sector. I'll go through it quickly. Hopefully that if there are people who do fit into that category, you'll get the information that you need, but then that you'll contact us, of course, to get more information. So the three funding streams, the first one is for profit businesses, and those are businesses in scale up and productivity. So it's a large amount. It's $500,000 to $10 million per project. So we're looking for projects that really are going to make an economic impact in the region. And the funding that we provide would be for up to 35% of the project costs. The second stream is called the Regional Innovation Ecosystem, and this is the same amount, $500,000 to $10 million per project, but it's up to 50% of the project costs, and this is for not-for-profits. So these are the organizations, and we sometimes call them intermediaries that are part of the ecosystem that will help then businesses scale up and get into that innovation scale or improve in that innovation space, like I said. The third one is either for businesses or not-for-profits. It's also for up to 50% of the projected costs. However, the amount is half, but still quite a large amount, from 250,000 to 5 million per project. And this is for community economic development and diversification. So you'll see here what that means. So again, stream one, like I said, is for businesses for profit. It's called the Business Scale Up and Productivity stream. And it's to accelerate the growth of firms, assist with the adoption of new innovative technologies that support scale up and productivity, development of and entry into new markets, so exporting, of course, to help companies become globally competitive. And again, it's a no interest, but it is repayable contribution from 500,000 to 10 million per project, and again, up to 35% of project costs. So stream two, the regional innovation ecosystem, is there to create, grow, and develop strong and inclusive regional ecosystems that support business growth and innovation. So these ecosystem, I guess, partners or organizations would build the entrepreneurial environment necessary to foster more innovative regional economies. They increase the competitiveness of small, medium-sized enterprises. And again, it's a non-repayable, this one, sorry, not again, but differently, it's a non-repayable contribution from 500 to 10 million per project, up to 50% of projected costs. So those are the two differences. And then stream three, sorry, the community economic development and diversification, which is either for for-profit businesses or for not-for-profit organizations, are those that generate sustainable, inclusive growth. They help small and rural communities in Southern Ontario to fully participate in and benefit from economic opportunities. So it's a not repayable, sorry, contribution from, again, half of what we've seen before. So from $250,000 to 5 million per project for not-for-profit organizations. It's a no interest repayable contribution. Again, they put the same amount per project for incorporated businesses. And then they say including Indigenous businesses. So because this is diversification, and it's specifically, to help those areas in Southern Ontario that might need a little bit more specialized programming. It's rural communities. That includes, of course, the Indigenous community. So that's up to 50% of the projected costs. Other than our funding, our financing streams that we just looked at, FedDev Ontario also has some services. Again, these are a little bit specific and might not apply to people here today, but like I said, I wanted to give you an overview, and then we'll go into the small business services where maybe that might be more applicable to the people here today.
Franca.
Hi.
I just want to interrupt you because you're not sharing your screen.
Oh, no.
So click on the little computer at the bottom.
Thank you so much for letting me know. Where is it?
So click on the little, so you see the video, the microphone, a YouTube button, and then
it has a cross on it.
So click on it and it will uncross.
Ah, share. So do I need to click on, okay, sorry.
Click on your presentation.
I clicked on that.
And I don't know, there might be an allow button or something like that.
Oh, hold on. Share screen. Let me cancel this for a second. Hold on. Sorry, I have a cold that I'm fighting, and so I'm not probably at my best. So I apologize in advance.
It's
I should have
okay.
apologized from before. So when I go to share screen, it doesn't bring anything up.
It should bring up a dialog box.
There it is. I had to go to window.
Okay.
So tell me now if you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so I'm just going to flip through to find my way. So basically, I just read out the role, the mission and vision, our role. the impact. Those are the three streams together on one slide. And then I went through the different streams. And now I'm talking about the business services. So thank you, Dwania, for letting me know, and I apologize for that. So going back to the services that we have what's called an accelerated growth service. And what this does is helps already established high growth firms, so you have to be in a specific category, of course, to grow and expand more rapidly, both domestically and globally. So from what I understand, really they're companies that are really ready to grow globally. They're ready to really have an expansion. And in order, because as we all know, probably even if you're just a small business owner, if you're just starting out, there are a lot of things to consider. There are a lot of things to do, a lot of things to research, a lot of things to take care of. These companies will get a service where we partner with other government departments and we kind of navigate them through the system. So the frameworks that, Health Canada would have for like a health services company, or partnering with Global Affairs and Economic Development Corporation to get a company to build on their exporting. We participate in that as agency to help those businesses along to get through kind of that myriad of program services and requirements that they need to go through. Another one, again, I said it might not apply to people here, but it's the Industrial Technological Benefits Service. And it supports the region's aerospace and defense sectors by facilitating participation in Canadian defense and security procurement. So we just heard from my friend and my colleague, sorry, can't remember her name, Dolores. So this is a part of FedDev that would help those companies in Southern Ontario be able to get into that procurement system in that specific industry. So again, I don't know that anybody is here today is in that sector, but that does exist. The other one is the Global Skills Strategy. So this one helps Canadian businesses attract the global talent they need to scale up and succeed in the global marketplace and to promote global investments in Canada. And this is for high value foreign multinational investors. So if a company fits into that category, sometimes they can't find the skills and the resources, the human resources here. So I think this is a very much a program that works with the Immigration Department of the Government of Canada, and those people that are trying to get over to Canada that fit a gap or a skill shortage that we're experiencing in Canada, so that they can partner that up and have what they need for their company to succeed and grow. So I'll say that, of course, since we've all been dealing with really worldwide the coronavirus pandemic, FedDev Ontario did have a relief and recovery fund that the Government of Canada established. It's been a year now. It's been just over, I think, a year or about a year that FedDev Ontario was given the Regional Relief and Recovery Fund. So this program provides financial contributions in the form of interest-free loans to help support fixed operating costs for small businesses where business revenues have been affected by COVID-19. So really this one was for companies. I believe they need to be incorporated. However, if they had applied to other government programs and programs under the relief for COVID that had been established by the federal government. There were some very quickly. If they didn't qualify for those, this was something that was there to then they could go here and apply to the RRF, as we call it. So that's something that's still in effect. And something that's newer, very new, just recently, is the Regional Air Transportation Initiative. And again, probably nobody here today fits in that, but just to let you know that the agency has a 2-year program to help businesses and organizations in that industry, in the ecosystems, to remain operational and continue to support economic growth. Of course, we know they've suffered greatly during the pandemic. Okay, so now I'm going to just get into some other general, outside of FedDev Ontario, although this one is related, of some business services that are available to small and medium-sized businesses across Ontario. So I'll just specify that FedDev Ontario is the agency for, we say Southern Ontario all the time. There is another agency, it's called FedNord, that does do the similar things that we do at FedDev for Northern Ontario. So if there's anybody here from Northern Ontario, just to let you know, there's always, FedNord's been there for much longer. FedDev's been around since 2009. We never had an economic development agency prior, but there was always one in the north. So don't worry. These programs and services are available within all of Ontario. So Community Future Development Corporations is a community-driven economic development initiative. Like I said, it's been around for a long time. And basically, they're there to help rural communities develop and implement strategies for a changing and economic environment. So from FedDev Ontario, local community future organizations provide, and there's a number of services: strategic community planning and socioeconomic development, support for community-based projects, business information and planning services, and they have access to capital with loans up to $150,000 for eligible businesses. Another program that has, it's kind of new. I think it was, I can't remember specifically when it was announced, but part of it is supposed to be opening up this month. They told us May 2021, so hopefully that will come very soon. But it's a program that's administered by Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada and the Regional Economic Development Agency. So of course, FedDev Ontario is one of them. And it's a partnership between the Government of Canada, Black-led business organizations, and several financial institutions. So basically, the Black Entrepreneurship Loan Fund is what we're talking about, and that is supposed to be opening this month. So I did check, I think, on the website late last week to see if there were any updates before today's event, but I didn't see any. I would assume that once that does open, that will be a wide announcement, and of course the website that will be updated. But I'll just tell you now, you can check on the ISED website if you want kind of up to the moment updates for that. So that loan will provide up to $250,000 to Black business owners and entrepreneurs across the country. So now we finally get to where I work and what I'm here to talk about. More specifically, I think hopefully will be more in line, or if the other ones were, that's great too, but maybe you can also use these services. So FedDev Ontario Small Business Services, we are a call center, and we are also maintain a website. And what we try to do, and what we do is provide accurate and reliable information on both the federal and provincial, and then the municipal government business information, which includes regulations. So what you need to know, or what rules you need to follow, or on the municipal side, licensing, so on. But then programs and services as well. So our mission in our little unit is to reduce the complexity of dealing with different levels of government by providing you a one-stop shop and to support good business planning and decisions. So of course, we're free of charge. Our call center agents are available to speak to you whether in English or in French, a language of your choice. Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5. And I will put the website and the phone number, our 1-888 number, 576-444, in the chat as well later. But basically, this is what our website looks like. So you'll go to, and I'll put this there in the chat as well, fedevontario.gc.ca. You'll go to Small Business Services, and you will get to our website. Our website, I always tell people, if you're looking for information, or if you have a question or anything else, or if you just want to go on our website and take a look, I always say take a look at our website first, because we have information there. We've also, over the years, put together a number of guides. So we might have a guide put together for you if you're looking to export, if you're looking to import, if you're looking even just to set up a restaurant. I know it's an awkward time right now. It's a very different time than we've ever experienced. But hopefully, even if you're looking to open a business, let's say, and you're doing your planning, and hopefully as soon at some point when we're through the pandemic, you can take a look at what we have there. Also, for example, we have a guide I know on starting an e-commerce business. So that actually might be helpful too now. I know a lot of people have already pivoted from, of course, bricks and mortar because of the pandemic. But you can take a look at that as well to see if there's any information there that you can still use. Other than that, information that's put together specifically for you, that relates to what's called our secondary market research service. And so at the unit, subscriptions to databases and information sources that they're paid service. But we have that, and we can provide, of course, the information to the client for free. And what we would do then is, if you call us, so I always tell people, take a look at our website, see what's there, see what jumps out at you that could be of service or useful or good information for you to begin with. But then definitely call and talk to one of our call center agents. And besides the secondary market research, they'll talk to you specifically about you, what kind of business either you're running or you're thinking of opening, and where you're located. And they will send you a package of information right away through email. But then in 5 to 10 days, this is how long the secondary market research takes. In 5 to 10 days, what they can do is have the information that's available that would be helpful to you from these subscriptions and databases that we have access to. And we can put together a package that includes demographic data about your potential customers in a specific geographic location. So when you call, it would help, obviously, if you had a specific kind of general location that you're looking at. And most people do. They usually know the city or the town that they're thinking of opening their business. We can provide you with contact information for industry associations. We have a list of relevant suppliers that we can give to you. We can give you some information about business trends related to your business that you're thinking of opening, and local competitors. So that's always good to know when you're putting, and all of this information is really good information to have when you're building your business plan. And then we have, again, list of competitors. Sorry, that's repetitive, but it's important. And then we also have sample business plans. And depending on what kind of business you're considering or that you're opening, we'll take a look at what is most relevant, and we'll send you those as well. So again, it's available for any stage of business. So even if you've already opened and started your business, if you still wanted to get that service, we don't have a problem with that. That's great. And like I said, provided by email within 5 business days. I know lately it's been very busy. This has been extremely popular. So I'll say 5 business days, but I'll let you know that it might be you might be advised that it might be a little bit longer, but we do them as soon as they come in. So we get them out as soon as possible. So again, I'll put our number, but it's accessible via telephone through our contact center. So I'll put that number again in the chat. And just know, again, that our contact center has people there waiting for your call. So that's also kind of, I like to tell people that because I know sometimes it's not always the case where you get actual live person on the other end. Another tool I just wanted to include, because it's available from the Government of Canada, and I would definitely encourage you to do this search, and then maybe either before or right after you look at our website and you call our call center. Go into innovation.canada.ca, and it'll ask you a number of questions. So it wants to obviously know about you, about your business, about the location that you're thinking either you're in or you're thinking of opening in. But also it'll ask you what type of information you're looking for. And once and it's very easy to use. So there are a number of questions, but it's just, you pick and it's very easy to go through. And then what happens is it will give you a number of results as well from federal and provincial governments of what's available to you. So it's called the Business Benefits Finder, innovation.canada.ca. And it produces smart recommendations your business needs, and it's really an all encompassing website. So it has all the information required, and it captures more than 1,000 programs and services from across federal, provincial, and territorial governments of Canada. So I always tell people, because you can imagine over 1,000 programs, when you put your information in, you may get back your search results may be more than 10 or 20 or even 50. So I always tell people to do it. Take a look, obviously from number 1 down, because those are the priorities. But then please do still give us a call. Our contact center agents are daily taking calls about and are constantly updated about all the programs and services that are available and all the changes that are made, or the new information that comes up, and especially with COVID now, that might happen a little bit more often than usual. So I'll just go through. I have some programs and services from the federal government that are either most used or the most referred that we have. We find that businesses that call us or come to us, our clients, might be eligible for these ones in particular. But again, it's not to say that it's an exhaustive list. So please do call our call center to get all of that. But there is something called the federal program, the Canada Small Business Financing Program, So this is for new and existing Canadian businesses. It's up to $1 million for fixed assets. Of course, this is, again, for specific type of business. And you'll have to show, obviously, a business plan and what type of business that you are applying for this for. And then I have some of the stipulations. So it's a prime lending rate plus 3%. There's a 2% registration fee, and then it's a 10-year maximum term. And this, again, is also administered like the Black Entrepreneurship Program through Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada through the financial institutions. And then, of course, we always refer as well people who are looking for financing specifically to the Business Development Bank of Canada. So that's a Crown corporation, and it is basically the Business Bank of Canada. They do financing. I think somebody, actually my colleague and also friend, is here. I don't know if she already presented, but she would have obviously explained it a lot better than I can, or she's coming up. So for sure, that you sit in on that session from the Business Development Bank of Canada. But besides also consulting, they do financing for starting a business, buying a business, real estate, equipment, construction, and other things. So that's that. And then on the other side, there's also another Crown corporation that is called the Export Development Canada. I think I mentioned them earlier, but basically, like the bank of the BDC is the business bank for Canada, Government of Canada. This is the Crown corporation for the Government of Canada that helps businesses export. They deal in exporting exclusively. It's to support and develop Canada's export trade by helping Canadian companies respond to international business opportunities. And they provide insurance, financial services, bonding. Exporting is a complex kind of process. And then it could be not so complex, I think, to very complex. So, for example, at Small Business Services, two of the guides that I mentioned that we had before, we have an exporting guide to the United States, and then we have an export guide to international markets. But even if you give us a call and you're looking for information to export, definitely we'll send you those guides. I think they're extremely useful. But of course, we're going to also direct you in the direction of Export Development Canada. So this is not a Crown corporation. This is a not-for-profit, but also it's been around for many years, and I do think that they do get support, of course, from the federal government, again through ISED. But Futurepreneur Canada, for anybody here who is falls into the age of 18 to 39, that's specifically what they deal with. So they help Canadians 18 to 39 become business owners, and they have a number of programs and services. So I just listed some here, up to $60,000 to launch or buy a new business. You can get, this is really great. They have mentors, and then they have a ton of events and seminars and tools to help people learn about business planning, marketing, et cetera, et cetera. Another not-for-profit, but also supported, again, I think through ISED and the Government of Canada, is Startup Canada. They've been around for at least 10 years, and it's a network that aims to build a Canada for entrepreneurs and give a voice to the Canadian startup community. So that's what they're self-described as. So they used to do a lot of in-person events. Of course, now things are virtual, but still through digital programs and flagship events, they promote, inspire, educate, connect, and they give a voice to Canadian entrepreneurs. So they've a lot of times, if something is coming up, they will have the ability through their large network to get people's input, the entrepreneur community input, and then to feed that back to government and different governing bodies around entrepreneurship. So they're really good to look up, startup.canada.ca. On the provincial side, and we always do this, if somebody calls our call center, we always, with all the other information that we give them, one of the first things we do is to direct them to their small business enterprise center. So this is from the provincial government all over Ontario, throughout Ontario, in each community, there's a small business center. So these are crucial, I feel, and we feel, and we always, like I said, refer our clients to one, whichever one would be applicable to them. And they offer, we're a website and a call center. We don't offer walk-in or in-person or any type of counseling or anything like that. We're an information service. So the next step then, of course, we refer people to one of their SPECs closest to them. And there they provide financing, business consulting and mentoring services, which is really important. They'll actually sit down and review your business plan. An actual business consultant will do that. They will do referrals for consultations with lawyers or accountants. And then all through the year, they do workshops, seminars, and networking opportunities. So you can network, but you can also learn. So most of their workshops and seminars, there's a learning component, a training component. I just added this slide to say that besides I talked about the RRF that FedDev Ontario is responsible for COVID relief. But as you know, or you might not know, but if not, the federal and provincial governments have both implemented a number of programs and services for businesses during the COVID-19 crisis. So I always tell people, please go to canada.ca, or you can go to the provincial. I'll also put, I have a phone number and a website there. But also you can give, like I said, if you call our contact center, which I highly recommend, they will obviously, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for any financial help or financing or funding, and you might be eligible for a COVID relief program, whether it's federal or provincial, they would absolutely send you that information. So again, you can call us. That's our number. I'll put it in the chat. We have a website. And there's an email address, but I would recommend that you call us. I think it's always beneficial for people to call, to talk to one of our contact agents. They're very knowledgeable people. And then, of course, if you want to follow us, FedDev Ontario, if you just Google or federal, or if you go on our website, actually, the fedevontario.gc.ca, all the social media and ways that you can follow us is there, and then you can do that as well. And that's it. So I'm not sure what my time looks like, since it's 1:11, 1:12. So I think I've gone over. Dwania, or I think I maybe had an hour. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, or I'll just put our information here.
I'm just going to jump on real quick.
Hi.
So, thank you so much, Franca. What everyone can do, definitely visit the FedDev booth. There's a booth in the expo, and Franca will send out the information, like she'll type the information, how to reach her. There are a couple people who are asking for a copy of the presentation. If they email you, will you be able to give them a copy of the presentation?
Sure. What I'll do is, we usually don't give it out, but what I'll do is I'll PDF it, maybe, and I'll just send it to you, Dwania, and then you can distribute to whoever. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So everyone, go check out the expo booths, and then you'll join us for the next workshop.
Thank you.